I'm just saying.
We were the last ones.
Sci-fi you like.
Yeah.
Sci-fi come to life.
What?
Podcast for sci-fi. Let's go.
That's
Let's
it,
go.
baby.
Let's
Stick
go.
around. Stick around
Let's
for podcasting.
That's a 2018 classic.
Is it that old?
It could be.
It very
could
well
be.
Hey, when that song
goes
came
by so
out,
fast.
when that song came out, it hit the top of the charts as soon as it came out. Opening weekend.
Yeah, but now,
One-hit wonder.
It's a one-hit wonder now. Yeah.
Hey, it's all right. It went 5 times platinum. It's all right.
Yeah, there you go. Now, when you hear it, you get this in the middle of it.
That's the remix version now.
It's all remixed now. It's all different beats.
Hey, you know you're a good song when you got a remix.
Yeah. That's what I would say.
When they use you and they blend you in with another beat, that's when they know you got a good song.
Yeah,
Sure.
we stole that beat anyway, so hopefully they can find the song we stole.
But
It.
we sampled
There you
it.
go.
We sampled it, Moose. It's the other S.
Oh, okay.
The other S, yeah,
that's
sample.
sample.
We
Okay,
sampled.
there you go.
We didn't steal. We sampled.
That was yeah.
We're paying the
Confirmed
royalties
by the legislation. It's just a sample. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you're getting us live right now. If we're live there, we're live.
Hey, I want you to know something, guys. This is breaking news here. We have more than 2 episodes.
Do we?
Yeah, we have more than 2 episodes. This year.
Sometimes. So I want to get to some of this stuff tonight. I do have a show and tell real fast though, if you guys have a moment.
Oh man.
Oh, me too. I'm glad you brought that up.
I got a few, but I'm just going to show one.
Listen, I don't have one today, so I'll go for it. I don't have one today, but I do have
something.
something. I do have something in the works. I'm building a pretty good sized Gundam.
Yeah.
So it's his leg alone took me about 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Yeah. So this is
hey, this guy, Magic Mike, this guy has time to kill.
For
man.
days. He had time for days.
Listen, I never said
he
it was
did that
4
last
hours
night.
altogether.
The 4
I didn't
hours.
say
He
it
did that
was
last
altogether.
night.
I say 4 hours. I didn't say it was all together.
In other words, he'll have it done by the next podcast. Is what he's saying.
It's a master grade.
Let me show you what I have here. That's a pretty cool game. Let me show you what I have. So, I don't know if you know this. If you have Prime, why would you have Amazon and not have Prime? I'm just curious. Like, why would you shop on Amazon?
I don't think that's even available anymore.
Well, it's like, so am I the only one getting these Prime deals right now because you guys don't have Prime? Like,
well, I gotta tell you though,
you shop Amazon, but you don't have Prime. That
I don't
makes
even.
no sense.
Well, no, you're right because you should have Prime. But here's the thing: like when I see Prime days, I'm like, that's got to be everybody. So I'm not special. I don't feel special anymore. Everybody's got it.
Well, some of the stuff that Amazon have, they have these Prime days, which I've already ordered too much already.
Oh man, yeah, I got packages coming.
But I will say that there are also some things in Amazon you have to click in to see where it's at. Like they'll have like lightning deals or daily deals, or they'll have like handmade stuff now. So they're going to put Etsy out of business. They're going to completely wipe Etsy away. But some of the stuff, there's another link in there, like it's called like I don't know, new products, something like that. Anyway, but not by Amazon, just new stuff. So one of these things I saw, I said, oh man, that is pretty cool. You see these things, and they're speakers, they're Bluetooth speakers.
Okay.
And they're made of different characters. And look, here's a one right here. This is Captain America.
That is pretty cool.
And it's a Bluetooth speaker, surprisingly very loud for
It's a tweeter.
This, yeah. And this is called like I don't know. It's called like a itty bitty or something. I don't know.
Itty bitty. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
We'll run with that one.
I'm pretty sure if you like Google itty bitty and then
Captain America
Bluetooth speaker, you'll see some
itty bitty Captain America.
But you see these. You never know what you're gonna run across, and I just thought it was such a fun little thing, little Bluetooth speaker. And I've got tons of Bluetooth speakers, but I don't have one this small and this cool looking. I've got ones that have LED lights on it and all this other stuff. But this is under something called like Amazon Outlet or Amazon Launchpad or like one of those.
I think it's Launchpad.
Yeah. So you can kind of see that those there. But anyway, kind of cool.
That's really cool. But you talk about it as if you're gonna use it on a regular basis.
I'm not. It's gonna sit here on a shelf. It's gonna sit on some shelf somewhere, and it'll just take up space. But it'll be a Bluetooth speaker.
Matter of fact, put it closer to the camera, Moose. It looks a little dusty.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I've already tried it. It's really cool. Now, if your kids have like iPads or something like that, and you want to get them a little Bluetooth speaper, which I don't necessarily recommend it, but if you do.
It's YouTube all day.
Yeah, you'll hear YouTube in your house.
Cocomelon
for half mile away. But you can get that, so that's kind of cool. Or if they go outside and you want them to have music while they're out in the yard or something like that, they can actually take their iPad and just stream it and Bluetooth it from there. So kind of cool. Magic Mike, what do you have?
Oh, so I also built something with someone in my family, so I'm gonna just show you real quick.
Okay, all right, let's give him some music.
Give him some
well, yeah, let me.
Whoa, what is that?
So this is the Batman Batmobile.
Yes,
this is really cool. This is actually Lego, and I'm not a huge Lego fan because they tend to be blocky for me. But this definitely has some curves in it. You get the doors open up, which is really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
You get to build the motor in the back. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but the valves move back and forth, up and down as you roll the car.
When the tire turns.
Yes, it's exciting. And then it's got a little, I don't know if you got a light there. Yeah, LED there.
You got a body kit. Okay.
Right there.
Oh, yes. I like that.
So this was actually exciting to put together. I really enjoyed putting it together.
What happens if you
4 hours? 4 hours?
Just throw it up and it lands down? What happens?
I don't know. I'm not going to try.
Isn't that show Lego Builders? They break
this
the
is
things
something like that. Yeah.
Do you glue it, Magic Mike, or do you just put it together?
I just put it together.
Okay.
I don't glue it yet.
I'm sorry. I have to glue mine. If not, they'll be apart in minutes.
And I understand that. Yes,
yeah.
I have been there, but not anymore.
Magic Mike, how many pieces and how long, roughly?
So. Sorry, I want to make sure it didn't fall. So
don't worry about it. It's glued together. It's glued together.
7,000 pieces.
It was actually it was just over 1,000 pieces, I believe.
Okay, all right.
So it took me and somebody else. We did it over time period because it was just the time we got to spend together as well.
Yeah.
So I would say it probably took me maybe total of 3 hours, maybe just hanging.
You are much faster and better than Game God, evidently.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
Absolutely. I appreciate you, Magic Man. I strive to be like you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's no Gundam leg, but
yeah, your Gundam can like hop around now. It's pretty crazy. One of the things I would say is like if you're on these Prime deals, if you're a big Halo fan, they have this Master Chief helmet on a stand and everything. It's only like $42. I can't believe it.
I'm gonna guess you got it.
Oh, yeah, I already have one that I have. So what I'm gonna do is order another one and then send this one right back because this one just came in. I'm like,
I thought Game God. I thought for sure he was gonna say, I'm just gonna send this right to Mike. I thought for sure that's what he was gonna say.
His lips were forming that way. That's what he threw as a curveball, man. He must be coming in SAP. He must be. That's what it must be.
That's what it was. Yeah, I didn't recognize it.
Awesome.
Listen,
I saved $25 by doing that. I mean, Amazon will take it back. It's only been 1 week. I figure, why not? Let me save $25.
Not anymore. You just announced that live in front of everybody.
That's okay.
You know what? He could have done one better for you, Magic Mike. He could have just put your address in when he ordered it.
Exactly. I don't know why he just didn't do that.
Yeah, he could. We would have been okay with him faking an unwrapping of one. And we would
put your account information on Amazon.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm gonna put an address on there.
My social also 5, 4, 3, 2.
Can you put your email password inside the chat right here?
Yeah, I will. Yeah. I'll do
hey,
that.
Dave, what's up? Welcome.
Dave Sampson's joined us on the thing here. Good to have you, Dave. We're just about to start up actually.
How come Dave doesn't have the diamond on his name anymore?
I think he sold it. He sold it. He's like, I'm gonna get out while the getting is good.
Hope he got a lot for it.
He sold it when it was high. We split the
stock. It was going down. Rob, what's going on? Welcome. Game God told me you might be on because the Mets are out, so he said,
to make sure
I don't know.
You didn't let the man sit in for 5 minutes before you tell him.
Hey, for what it's worth, Game God's lost his diamond status too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, 2018. Let's
oh man, you should have worn Mets hat, Moose, just for that. You know, look around, low blow.
Yeah, I know. You know, if I can find a Mets hat around here, I might buy one, but you can't find it. So.
Hey, I don't even know what y'all are talking about. What sport do they play? What sport are the Mets?
Football, National Football Team.
Okay.
That's Magic Mike at Podcast for Sci-Fi.
All right, let's put on your listening ears for the next 35 seconds, and let's get this thing rolling.
Wow, look at Dave.
All right, I'll wait for you, Game God. You just tell me when you're ready. Here we go. Star Wars. I know you've been waiting for us to talk about Andor. We're going to do that tonight. Also, New York Comic Con was just over. It's just on the heels of it. 2022. We're going to talk about some of the announcements that have come out of there and some of the special things that were announced. But, as always, we have to talk about this or this.
According to Wikipedia, a nerd is a person seen as overly intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. Many so-called nerds are described as being shy, quirky, pedantic, and unattractive. We're here to prove Wikipedia right.
Oh, look who they let in.
This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. If it's fantasy, sci-fi, gaming, movies, interviews, we're talking about it. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, and here's your host, Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike.
Welcome to Podcasts for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. This is episode number 363. If you're counting, that means that we do about, 300 podcasts a year. No. We do a lot. Welcome to the gang's all here. We put the band back together for tonight. And welcome joining us in the chat room live. We appreciate you joining us, and throw out some comments and talk about us. Bad or good, we don't mind. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and anywhere else you can find us live. We're live right there. And
Dave bringing up one of the OG sci-fi shows there, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Yeah,
that's something that's
is that black and white?
It could be. I think originally they were going to do it in black and white, but color came out that year, so they added some color. It's
Technicolor.
Yep.
That's what they added it in. It wasn't black and white. They added Technicolor.
They added Technicolor. There you go.
It's shades.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about tonight. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. Angela Lansbury passed away. She was 96. Too bad. Thanks for blessing our lives with Chip and Mrs. Potts. Oh, and Murder, She Wrote.
That's good. No, that's good. Good. Go back to that, Moose. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Mrs. Potts, dear. That's
a classic right there. That's a sound bite right there.
Yeah. Be our guest.
Close your eyes. She was here with us.
Yeah, she was in that. What was her song? She did Be Our Guest, but didn't she? Did she have a solo? Oh yeah, Tale as Old as Time. She actually sang that in the last piece. Yeah, good old Angela.
96. That's a long time, man.
I only hope to be so lucky. 5 more years, baby. 5
more. That's it. You're almost there, Moose. We're pulling for you.
Listen. You can do it, Moose. You can do it.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the water, man. Here's the water as you run by me. Here's the
water. Let's see. We want to talk about Star Wars tonight. We want to talk about Andor. I mean, we haven't spoken about it since its start.
We have,
and I'm going to get into that. There's some other stuff we want to talk about, NYCC stuff like that, but I actually want to talk about Andor. I think that we could start with that. What is this? Dave says 363 episodes at an hour per podcast. It's like 15 straight days of podcasting and 7 hours of preparation. True. That's really true. I'm not even sure if that equals out, but I'm just going to say true. And,
sounds good.
I believe you if you've done the math.
X against the square.
Wait a minute. Let me see. There we go.
All
right. So do you want to start with NYCC? Or do we want to start with Andor?
No.
I'd like to get into Andor right away. I think
let's do it.
We've waited long enough, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, let's go. I'm okay with that.
We're 5 episodes in or 6?
5 episodes in. Okay. 5 episodes in. Initially, I don't want to tell you what I think. So initially, I want to know what you're thinking. Game God, have you watched all 5? You're done with that. You're caught up, right?
Yes, I've watched all 5, and it felt like I've watched all 5. So I'll start out with this. When the trailer came out for this, I think I was a big leader here saying it looks awesome, looks like blockbuster movie production. And I gotta tell you, it holds up. It still looks blockbuster. Still like they spent a lot of money on it. I thought the first 2 episodes we'll break it down as we go through here, but I thought the first 2 episodes were spectacular. I thought the first one was because they both 3 episodes came out at one time.
Right.
So the first 2, I'll group them together. The first 3 had me reeled in. Like, this is amazing. And then 4 and 5 for me were just slow. And I know we've read that this is a slow burn. There's, I think, 12 episodes in total.
Yeah.
And they've also signed for a season 2. So and we know this is how, the whole thing started. This is behind Rogue One, all that stuff. But man, 4 and 5 was slow. Like, slow. I almost felt like I went back to 3. That's how slow it felt for me. So I struggled through, especially the last episode. I felt like 4 and 5 could have been one episode. So that's what I'm gonna do before we get into deep. That's my overview.
Magic Mike.
All right, overview. Listen, I realized why they released episodes 1 through 3 at once, because I have to tell you that. Read Dave's comment. I have to tell you, I thought those were the slow burns. As a matter of fact, if I had just watched 1 and 2 without 3, I might have taken a little longer to watch them. And from then on, it was great to me. I love 4 and 5. They are awesome because you can feel every episode I'm watching, I feel the anticipation building of what's coming next. I'm going, I just know something good's going to happen. I feel it coming, because you kind of have an idea of where this is going to go. At some point, we know where it's going to end up. And so I'm loving the way they're showing how these things are coming in. This is, I don't know how you don't love, especially 5. You are seeing the initiation of the Rebel Alliance right here being established. How does that get you so excited? How can you say this is boring and slow? This is crazy to me with his comments, Moose. I love it. This is one of the best shows I am seeing from Star Wars as of right now. It's one of the best.
Well, I completely agree with Game God. I'm just kidding, Magic Mike.
Oh, man. Yes, I was going to say, finally.
Listen, Magic Mike, you're right on the money. Listen, 1 and 2, I'm like, it was tough to get through. I'm like, not tough because I didn't like the visual, what was going on visually. It was the storyline, but I knew going in that it was going to be they have to tell this story that has never been told before. Never. This hasn't been, they had to create this story. So there's got to be a lot of some background, and because you're trying to give now Cassian some real heart, some depth to his character, even though in Rogue One you accepted for what you got and that was it.
Right.
But now you're feeling this depth and you're getting put in the moment. I love to see these different types of security pieces all throughout so you have different like ranks of security from the Empire, and saying, no, we're taking over here. You can go sit down now. You no longer have a job. Thank you. You've messed this up. Thank you. Like all of these wonderful things. It meant so much to me because I go, wow, now you're seeing what's going on inside the Empire. You're seeing what's going on inside the closed doors, behind the Iron Curtain. I mean, you're seeing details and how much they know and don't know and what they're doing about it. They're so big. All of a sudden you're going, wow, these guys are so big that they don't know a lot. They know a lot, but they don't know a lot. It's kind of a double-edged sword, because on one hand you go, oh, you have all this information. On the other hand, they don't know what to do with it. It's because it's so much information. And they're so big they can't keep track of everybody.
Yes, I love that.
The last 2 episodes, 4 and 5, Game God, for me, solidified this as a series. because it gave you these glimpses of the Empire where you go, wow, not everybody was all aboard. Not only was not everybody all aboard, but when the first time we saw that TIE fighter fly through that canyon,
that is cool. The sound
was
effects
awesome.
of
that TIE fighter just made my heart go skip a beat. Like,
I gotta tell you,
hide,
that
quick,
was the
hide, everybody, get down.
Well, I think I can tell you that was the first time you felt how fast and how those things work, because you've always seen them high up, right? And when they're up high in the air, you don't really recognize the speed or the sound of them. Like they have the iconic, they have that. But when they got that close and it streamed across the water, and you heard the boom, I
love that. Like the sound.
I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So the sound effect was good. So listen, I'm not saying this show is bad. I'm not saying, I'm not even close to that, because I'm watching it and I enjoying it. And what I'm feeling is that I'm watching more the background and the aesthetics. I'm watching for the little details. Like I notice how there's different rankings. That's pretty cool. I notice how there's they have, you have 3 squares for one, 2 squares for one. Right. So I those details I appreciate, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I get it, right? Now I wanted to move it away, and I know it's coming. It's coming because we're like 5. You'll probably get something in the next episode. But for the last 2 episodes, we're waiting on trying to get the payroll, the paychecks for people.
No,
here.
we're not waiting on it. You got to be out of your mind. We're not waiting on it. This is exactly
the last 2 episodes. We're building up. Listen, we're waiting on the last 2 episodes to steal an envelope of paychecks. What's going on?
It's not an envelope of paychecks. It's the actual money. This is exactly how it would play out. You get somebody new involved. These groups are like, what are you here for? What are you here for?
Right.
I my part is secret. This is exactly what a rebellion would be like. Don't give the information of everything at once. And we even see that I don't remember her name, but for the Empire, she starts to see a pattern of going, okay, I see they're attacking here. They're coming from here. This is exactly how I would do it. Right. This is what we need. This is what we want. You cannot expect the start of a rebellion just all of a sudden people start blowing things up. That's not how this works. So this is
if you don't have a plan.
Yes, Moose. That's key. And Game God would not have a plan. He would just go in.
I've watched all the other Star Wars. That's how it works.
Wow.
This is a great. I'm telling you, even though we haven't seen a lot of action.
Hey, Game God, many Bothans have died trying to get this to the rebels.
Listen, I just want you to know I can imagine 1,000 of them there.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want you to know
but that made sense. See, you didn't realize when he was up there, and you're like, oh, he sees that, and then he's like, why is he so attached? Like he's kind of mad. Like, no, I can. Like, does he have an affinity for them? Well, he does, evidently, because that soldier fell for one of the locals. Yes. Hello. I mean, this is great. This is great story writing.
So what I'm hearing is that you're appreciating the little stories that really won't make it into a main story dialogue per se. Is that what I'm understanding? That's what he sounds like.
No, this goes into the main dialogue. This is why he joined the rebellion.
I get that, but what I'm saying is like when he was talking before, the inner workings of the Empire, the bickering about this is my sector, not yours. Right. Keep stay in your lane, that kind of stuff. Is that what you're really enjoying, considering that we're so used to just the broad picture of a Star Wars universe that you're appreciating that it's becoming a little bit more narrow?
Well, no, I think I enjoy much more than just that. But now you're seeing the smaller sectors, so it's kind of reminds me of like. Have you ever watched? This isn't on a sci-fi piece, although you ever watched like Downton Abbey? Mm-hmm. You ever seen this? No. Okay. All right. Well, in old times, you had the kings and queens, okay, or you had the lords and the magistrates. Like you had these people who ruled over a castle or a land. Now, when they had that, they had servants that worked in their home. Okay. Mm-hmm. And underneath that home, when I say underneath, not literally, but we all knew the hierarchy of, this is the lord of this, and this is the duchess of this, and this is the count of this. Like they all have their titles, and they all know their hierarchy. Mm-hmm. Well, in the Empire, we've really never seen that hierarchy, and now we're starting to see a little bit more of that. So in these, and I'm going back to Downton Abbey. So you see all these lords, and I say Downton Abbey. This isn't a reference, but of days of old. Well, in the houses that these lords and dukes and all these people lived, inside of that home, all of the servants that serve them, their butler, their cooks, and all this, like all of these people, the folks that work for them, they're also a hierarchy there. And that's kind of what we're seeing with the Empire. Like it goes deeper, it cuts another layer down to go, aha. Now we've seen lords and generals and all of this in Star Wars, and we've seen a lot of them. And we've seen a lot of them, get they another one bites the dust right in the air. But we've never seen at a lower level, and then subterranean levels, like lower level of that.
Right.
And that's what we're seeing with these garrisons and things that are being dismantled, and they're going into a town going, okay, we're taking this town apart. You're no longer here. We're moving in. We're setting up base right here. And this one, he's like, hey, do you see this? This office here? Is this good enough for an office for you?
Right. Well, and to that point, it's the details and nuances is what you're talking to that make this so great. Because here's where we are. This is the same things as GOT. It's the same thing as House of the Dragon.
Correct.
But they progress so fast. But you get those little details and nuances, and this is what we want. At least in my opinion, it's what I want for sure, because I'm loving all those things that you give with all the little things that they do, like you said. And then they battle over, he's bringing the I forget what it's called, but he's bringing that item to trade to get off the planet. Cassian is, and it turns out that's not even important. We don't even want that. I came for you, because there's a bigger picture here. So you get to see where people don't see the big picture, but it comes together later. Again, the details and nuances moves the lower. This is we can go on and on, but it's the same thing. This is awesome. I love it.
Yeah. That makes
it doesn't hold. It doesn't at this point in time. It's not holding my attention span as much as it should be. I hear it with you guys, and I wish I could be on the same level as you guys. The way you describe it, I definitely feel like that for the other show that we're not talking about tonight. That's you mentioned GOT and House of the Dragon. I feel that those same nuances. I see it in those shows more so, and yes, they do move faster. But you're probably more accustomed to seeing that kind of hierarchy in those shows than in Star Wars. So I guess since I'm not used to seeing it in a Star Wars show, I'm like, man, come on, let's go.
Well,
let's go.
That's kind of what I was going to get at, is the fact that in this particular a series or show, over the episodes, this is not something you're going to jump into going, hey, your kids are going to love this. No, they're not. They're going to hate it because there's no action. There's little to no action. There's a lot of story building and a lot of things that as a Star Wars fan, that you can put together from all of the other Star Wars of the past, not just Rogue One, but all of them. You'll be able to go, oh, okay, all right. Think about how much of this garrison, like how many men are in this garrison. And they're bringing what they say they're going to build the ships there.
It's a dock. Like an airbase.
What an amazing thing! Like you wonder where this is taking place at anyway. Well, now you're getting to find out at least one of them, and all of these. I mean, how many people must it take to do this? I love this. When you see the inner workings of a rebellion, and this is only a small piece of people getting together to get information for another subset of people, of a rebellion over an entire galaxy. So how are they? There's more than just this group. This is a small group, but they're getting something done, or they're attempting to, at least.
Yeah. It definitely gives you the feel of a much larger piece, because it's so small. And to your point earlier, when you say you're like, it's so big that it's so big that you don't even know everything. So where you felt like in the movies or in other shows, everybody knew everything.
Yeah,
like it was just common knowledge. And not, and like, oh, do you know who Luke Skywalker is? Not that they mentioned him here, but oh yeah, I know who he is. And these people probably might not even know who this guy is if he's around. Like, who's Luke? You mean the guy from down the road?
Well, it's true. Like, you don't know who Luke is. That's this is true. But the other thing is, like, when I see this conflict, like you mentioned, Magic Mike, like these people they're not just, they're everyday people, but they have secrets, and they're trying to keep their secrets to themselves, and they come from different backgrounds. To know that this one character was in the Empire, and now he's helping these rebel forces is interesting. But to know that do I trust this guy? I'm not sure I do. But you know that Andor is he's saying, Cassian is saying, look, I'm looking to make it out of this alive. I'm bringing my wealth with me. You know, like I'm not doing this just to. And it was so funny at what he was bringing to the table that they just hadn't figured out.
Yes,
so that's an
yeah.
amazing piece, you know?
I like how they say, "Who brings a treasure to the robbery?" I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think it's pretty cool. You guys probably know more of this. The Sky Kyber that he has there. I'm like, what's that? You know, like I know it's a Kyber crystal.
Like the Kyber crystal, right?
Yeah. But like they specifically mentioned a sky one.
Well, and it's blue.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, I think.
Yeah.
So he's mentioning the color. But yeah, he's got 30,000 credits on him.
Right.
And what's his plan? You know, and he tells him straight up, I'm gonna tell you, I'm here for the money.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't need you shooting me in the back when we're in there. I want to make sure we're good. It's like,
oh, and by the way, it's worth at least 50. Don't take less than 50.
Remember, less than 50.
He shortchanged him. We gave him 30. He said that 30,000.
That's because somebody else could flip it, make 20. So
it has its moments. It has its moments for me. Like I perk up and look, but the other moments I'm like, okay, let's go.
Can I say something to the props team building all this stuff? Anyway, I don't know if these props are real. The handheld devices that they're using are real, meaning that I don't know if it's actually a display there or not. Usually they don't use real displays because real displays don't really show up well on cameras. They flicker kind of like you would have at your home. You know, if you video your TV at home, it's got the refresh rate is different. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But 60 versus 120 versus, you know.
But these pads that they're using and showing stuff, they look so good. I'm like, man, I really hope they're real and showing like real screens because I want to get one. How do I get one? That's what I want.
You know, but it kind of goes back in the day of TNG when you saw them with the pads. Yes. When I watch it now, I'm like, yeah, I can see that's not real. But back then you were like, oh, I want one of those.
And nothing on it. It was just, we have better chances with an iPad at this point.
Listen, if you go on a Galactic Cruiser, they have them on there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna procure one somehow. I'm gonna buy one off of an Imperial officer.
Listen, if there's anyone who can get one, it's the collector.
There you go. That's right.
Hey, I give a guy 50,000 credits. I think I can get one.
That's it. I think you could.
Sure. Listen, so this is a show for Star Wars fans. That's what I'm going to say. And if you're not a Star Wars fan, you might like it, I guess, but really there won't be anything into it because there's so much that foreshadows the future.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah,
but,
you are. Yeah.
We already know the future, so we can kind of see where it's coming from, but it's like, yes, you just see all these little small things and they start to add up. I love that piece of it. And we've talked about this for many years, even doing this podcast, talking about there's so many other stories that can be told off of the main storyline, away from the main storyline from Star Wars. Although this has a direct tie, somehow there's just other stories that can be told in the same universe that would be just as interesting. And now we're seeing that right here with Andor. I love it.
Dave says Moose is hoping for a Han Solo cameo.
I've always listen. One of my favorite all-time greatest characters in Star Wars is either one or two is Han Solo. By all means, but I want old Han, not young Han. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Yeah. Didn't used to want old Han. You used to want young Han. Now you want old Han.
Well, kind of. Yeah. No.
You don't want middle age Han.
Middle age Han. I'll take any Han over 27.
Okay.
any Han.
At least show up in the Falcon. Okay.
Any Han that could call somebody else kid. That's what I. That's
there we go. Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's the baseline. There's the baseline.
Yeah. It's funny to see sometimes Dave mentions at least show up in up the Falcon, right? So I'll tell you this: if you look closely in a lot of the animation, you'll see we know that the Falcon is a particular class of vehicle that wasn't uncommon in the Star Wars universe, evidently. And it's funny to see because you can see these vehicles in other shows. flying in the background, but you just have to look for them. You got to have an eye for it, because if not, it'll just go right past you. So
especially how fast they travel.
Yeah. Well, you say that though, in Andor, when they were having that scene between gosh, I forgot the guy's name, the older guy that took him from anyway, when they're having that scene when they're in Lightspeed, I just thought that was super cool as they're standing there talking, and I'm like, man, this is great. And I'm looking at all of the ships, all the details behind it, all the lights and switches, the cockpit, and I'm like, oh, this is so great. I love this stuff.
Well, the fact that he was surprised that ship could do light speed.
Yeah, it's just such a great thing. I love it. Anyway, I say to you, if you haven't seen it already, you need to watch it. And if you're a Star Wars fan, let it sink in. It's not your regular Star Wars. This is a story building Star Wars, and it is coming to a head at some point. And I love that. I'm looking forward to it. I like all of the actors have been terrific.
The acting has been great.
Yeah, I love that,
and I appreciate the fact that Andor has his Spanish accent still. It doesn't go away. So can I get some horns? Come on, let me get some horns.
Isn't that interesting to see how that he's from a particular planet, which everybody was Spanish on that planet, evidently. So that was great to see. I love that. I just love that because I apologize. I wasn't ready.
There you go.
That's such a great thing, because it shows that his look was very specific, and they knew based on his race where or what planet he's from that, oh yeah, we're going to be able to hit this guy. We'll be able to nail him by looking at him, because we'll know that it's him. I think that's awesome.
Yes, I do appreciate that. That's great. So the acting has been great. So let's see what mid-season episode does. What do they call it? Mid-season recap.
Yeah.
Mid-season recap. Okay.
I want me a real Dave. Could you go out and buy me a Carillion ship? That would be great.
Carillion cruiser.
Yep. Please, I love that. Anyway, that's my take on Andor. Anything to add from that, guys? Anything that you didn't cover that you'd like to cover? Because I
think episode 6 is gonna have the action. Be prepared.
Maybe, because we're gonna have 12. So we'll probably get some action. We're gonna see, but again, this is the building of the Rebel Alliance. So
Rob Clark says, do we need 2 seasons?
Rob, we need 2 seasons. If you're gonna get this, again, I need another season of this. Listen, whenever you can, put in there blue milk. That's a good thing.
That's
I
awesome.
love to see that with the cereal. Actually, if you just give me Boo Betty and some regular,
oh man,
wow, but it's getting close to Halloween.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll move on. Hey, New York Comic-Con just ended. There was a lot of stuff announced at New York Comic-Con. Probably so much we won't cover, half of it, but we'll cover some of the stuff that we love to talk about from New York Comic-Con.
Yes.
There's always something new being released at New York Comic-Con. I mean, a couple of the highlights that if you're a Supernatural fan, they are doing a prequel to Supernatural. I thought that was interesting.
Squeeze the juice out of that rock.
Like 17 seasons, and they're going to go for a prequel. I'm like, okay, well,
okay, all right.
If you think you got it, do it.
Apparently so. The car travels on its own.
I can't see this happening lasting more than 2 seasons. I mean,
yeah.
Am I wrong?
We didn't think they can get 17, but they got 17. So
this is true.
I got the over. I'm gonna say 3. I think they got 3 seasons.
No, I'm gonna have to go with Moose on this one. And I know there's not a lot of difference between 2 and 3, but I think 2 might be it, because where do you go? How do you go backwards into something like this? It's different than Andor.
You know where you want to end. You just got to figure out where you want to start.
That's true. Walking Dead said they announced that there's going to be a lot of they'll share a lot of special moments in their final episodes of the
Does it matter? Does it matter at this point?
A lot of memories. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. That's the only thing people really want to see anyway.
Is this a Seinfeld episode? Is that what this is going to be?
That's funny. That's funny. Hey guys, top 3 moments in Walking Dead. Right off that. Spit it off the top of your head. Top 3 moments you remember.
3? Ooh,
Yeah,
boy.
three. Remember,
Uh,
one for
that-
me. One for me is Glenn.
Okay, Glenn, that whole series, that whole episode, part 1 and 2, probably very memorable. Yeah, Glenn.
I'm trying to remember when I stopped watching it to try to remember what.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That's when you saw Big Red. I hate to see him go down too, though. So,
That's pretty funny.
Glenn, yeah, that piece. Oh boy.
One of my top moments is very early on, and that's when I might even be the first episode to where he meets, and I forget his name, in his house, and he's looking out the window because his wife is out there, and he's got to determine
that's the dude. That's the dude. That's the dude who went on to. He's still in the series.
He comes back later. Yeah,
but he Fear the Walking Dead. He's in Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's got his son with him, and this is when
who knew that guy would be somebody later on?
Yeah.
But he watches his wife with his gun. He's like, I can't do it. I can't do it because his wife is a zombie.
No, that was a powerful moment. That's a great moment there.
I go back to the Shane days.
Yes.
Yes.
Shane was such a great character. I hated to see him go. And of course, I did like the governor piece.
Yes, that was another one. Yes.
That's just if you see a guy with a patch on and a you think, well, that's the governor right there. So there's some really good ones. The first season to me was simply the best season. I think it got a little better over the first couple of seasons, but you can't beat that first season. That was really good.
I'll never forget. It wasn't a major thing, but I'll never forget the time Shane shot the dude running with him so he can get away.
Yes.
Never forget that one. That Shane moment.
That
right
is
there.
a GG move without question.
Oh yeah.
You know where I stand?
It's like Daryl and Merle.
Yes.
And Merle, tied to the top of the roof, and
saws his own hand off.
His own hand.
Yeah, see, so they had some great moments.
No, I know. You know, one of the downfalls for me when you're at the CDC and somebody whispers in your ear what caused the virus, and you don't announce it, like you don't even talk about it.
You left that. Man, you'll never forget that.
That was a whole turning point. It was just a wrong direction.
That was episode 6, season 1. There was only 6 episodes in the first season.
No, that's to Atlanta. So no, that's
that was like 5 or 6 episodes a season. Actually, is when it was something like that. Maybe it was 4.
Well, I can tell you where it went down for me is after the Glenn thing. After that, I think that was its height.
That was its highest point. It started to go down after that. I think so.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, and I know that Game God had mentioned something to me. Kenny in the room, he says, don't forget to talk about Halloween.
Comes out Friday.
We talked about that last week.
Black Adam with Superman. We did talk about Halloween last week. Kenny must have logged out before that point. He was out.
Oh no, he came in on Hocus Pocus and said, "I want to talk about
this." Black Adam with Superman. I don't even know. I don't know if I know anything about this. Do you think Black Adam is this going to be a?
There's talk that there'll be a Black Adam Superman, visitation crossover, meet each other kind of deal. I think that
is Black Adam going to be a hit, or is it going to fall, or is it going to?
That's what it was. That's what it was. Hey, let me tell you something. I feel that Black Adam is going to bomb. Right?
Really?
And here's why. Yes, and here's why. When you spend this much time and money into a press junket, whatever they call these things, where they go to city to city.
Yes.
Spending all this money to promote the movie.
I think Mike, he said junklet.
He did.
Yeah, I did say junklet.
I don't where does that?
I don't even know what that means.
Hey, listen, I go with him. I make it up as a fly. Just go with it. But
make
when
it up as you
fly,
time, or is that what you?
Yeah. Yes, and when you spend this much time doing this stuff, going from city to city, you saw that The Rock was holding a baby in one of his. I'm like, this can't be good. We saw the movie in trailers and previews at this point.
That's it. We're over. We're done.
The ending is somewhere between the 1 and 2 minute mark and one of the trailers. The ending is in there somewhere. I think this is gonna bomb. I think you'll have a good first weekend. They'll probably do about 120 opening weekend.
Okay.
I think they're gonna do 120. The next weekend, 56.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't disagree with you. I think 56 is a little too high, so I'm gonna go 46 on that second weekend. Yeah. I do want to make a comment before I talk about Black Adam, Werewolf by Night. Yeah, Rob, that's one of the things that we'll probably talk about here in the future. Just not tonight, because that is something that is we'll probably talk about it closer to Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a black and white thriller. It's on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, watch it so we can talk about it. But yeah, so Black Adam, I think so too. I think this is just going to tank. When he was at CDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, and they raise him up through the this pillar, and he's they have the safety harness on him, which I'm like, come on, you don't have a safety harness on him. He's fine. The guy's in great shape. Let him fall. He falls. And
if he falls, he falls.
He falls. He falls. And the crowd was like, there wasn't a big applause.
Yeah, there wasn't.
They were kind of waiting to go in. Okay, what are we watching? I don't even think they for sure thought it was The Rock, honestly. So I think that's something to be told too. I don't know if they're really that excited about it. Maybe they are, and that's a bunch of nerds at CDCC. So I mean SDCC.
No, you're absolutely correct, because when I saw that too, I was very underwhelmed, just because it's like you're just showing him being great. I don't get that, because that's not he flies. So none of this is authentic to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to bomb, but I don't think it's going to do great. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle of what we're used to right now, because of The Rock, just because of him. And I still am going to maintain that Dr. Fate is going to be the best part about the movie.
I think the Scorpion King is going to bring in more money than this movie did.
Ouch.
So I also want to put it.
Do we have a digital overlay of the face of the Scorpion King?
Oh, that would be great.
Oh, by the way, not to mention, The Rock at SDCC showed up in the Black Adam outfit, so it wasn't even like it wasn't even himself. He was showing up as Black Adam.
Yeah.
I go, nobody else is doing that. Sorry.
I could tell you. So a comment Rob makes in the room: Marvel movies getting pushed back. A reason to worry. Now, I think just on a side note, the reason why I got pushed back, the director from Blade backed out of the movie.
Really?
And because because he got backed out, I think they want the movies to go in a certain order. So that was kind of like the next movie in the next phase. So it pushed all the movies back.
That's not a good sign, though, if the director backs out of the movie.
We know what happens with movies like that, because then you're trying to reel and trying to scramble. Oh, what do we need to do to fix?
What was that? Episode 8, Star Wars.
That was ask Justice League.
Yeah, it's like same way. Yeah, same way.
So
yeah. So anyway, hey, also Solo. Well, I think that was the same way, wasn't it? I don't know.
Yes, I think it was too. Yeah, but they had a slew of power problems, retakes.
They did, yeah.
So this is one of those things where, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Let's talk about some other stuff, some other announcements through New York Comic-Con. They came out with some trailers. Picard season 3 trailer. This trailer, like some other trailers of the past, this one though seems to be more relevant in all of the Picard seasons than that we've seen. 1 and 2 so far. The trailers have been pretty good, but this one seems to be the best. And go ahead, Game God, you have something to say. I see you laughing over there. Go ahead.
I'm gonna wait for Magic Mike, because I know Magic Mike.
Okay, all right. Magic Mike, I know that you watched my reaction on the reveal of this trailer, and although I've kind of put Picard behind me as a season or as a series, this trailer, I'm like, what? This is a Sixth Sense moment for me, an aha moment when they showed who potentially the villain of this season is. I don't want to say that way, because most of the whole trailer was about someone I don't even know who it was. I was like, I don't remember this person. But then the reveal on one of these, I was like, what? Yes. How did you feel?
So there were 2 moments. I was trying to hold in my comments there. There were 2 moments when it was so awesome, by the way. We should do that. We should do that more often. Watch each other watch trailers.
Yeah.
I loved it because when you laughed out loud when
that's a great
when Riker goes, because Worf says, I'm over pacifist nowadays, and Riker goes, great, we're all gonna die. And you laughed out loud. I did the same exact thing when I saw that for the first time. I was like, oh, that is so awesome. And that is so Riker. This is exactly what we want. And then at the end, when we see, here's the spoiler, we see Moriarty, who is one of the villains, because That was incredible because I loved him when they did those.
They did that.
He was in 2 episodes before.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was so good. I actually didn't know he was still alive, by the way. But I loved him.
I really, Magic Mike. I thought that was the lady in Downton Abbey or Harry Potter. I thought no, she was in this. This is her. No, wait a minute, that's a guy. Oh, okay.
This is such a great reveal.
That's hilarious.
So, well, it was. It's funny because you're not sure. And then this is a great reveal when you know who it is because he was a big part of that particular part of it. Yeah.
Huge, yeah.
So makes you wonder, okay, how to get back? You have to start trying to put these puzzle pieces together. And then at the very end, we see Lore. And so now we have another villain that's going to come into this season.
Potential piece.
Yeah. I have not been this excited since Strange New Worlds, since I've seen that trailer for Star Wars, Star Trek. This is great. I can't wait to see it. It seems like it has everything that we've wanted out of Picard. Mm-hmm. Now, will we get it? I don't know because it is only 1 season. So I think that we're going to because there's nothing to hold back to the next time. There's nothing.
Yeah.
So I think we get everything we want out of this, and this is going to be a great season. I'm overjoyed with how this is going to turn out because everything that we see, the characters, everybody's back. And the only question I had, Moose, I don't know if you recognize the voice, is when Picard, at the very beginning of the trailer, Picard's sitting at the table, and then somebody says, Picard, I forget what they said, but Picard, we need you, or something along those lines. I forget now.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, do I recognize that voice? I don't think I do, but I'm wondering. I almost got a hint of Will Wheaton possibly in that voice. I'm probably wrong.
In this particular, that would be the trifecta, quadfecta of this. Of this, it would literally be I mean, what else? Don't hold back. Put them in.
Absolutely. Right. Sorry, Gigi, I took all that.
No, you're fine. Now that you guys got all of that, this laughter that I was doing when you were talking, Moose, goes back 2 years, maybe 3, right? When we first seen the first trailer for Picard, and we said the exact same things we said today.
I get it.
Wow, this looks amazing. This is what we want. This is what we need, man. And I think the only thing we complained about in the first season of Picard was, man, he looks old, man. I don't know how much time he got left. Right, and that's what we complained about. And season 1 of Picard died after the second episode. I think we stopped watching. Right, season 2 trailer. This was maybe a year and a half ago. Wow, this is great. Look at 7 of 9, unbelievable. Can you believe it? And then what happened? They dropped the ball again.
They let us down.
Okay. So here we go again. I got the only deja vu. I felt like I was in an episode of Star Trek, and I went back in time. I felt like I was in Discovery when I wore the suit and I went back, because I'm hearing the same thing. Don't hold back. Send everything out. I know that voice. I recognize that character. He was in 2 episodes of season 7 of Next Generation. Right? So you get they're doing exactly what they want to do. Is they're feeding your nostalgia and then ripping your soul as you feed off of it.
So you think that none of those characters are going to be in the show? Is that what you're saying?
No, they're going to be in there, but because they showed again, like at Black Adam, they probably showed all the good parts, right?
No, they didn't.
But and to your point, like I know TNG, right? So that's where I know more. TOS was, I don't really know about TOS, and then Enterprise or the other shows you guys watch. I don't know. I got them all messed up, but TNG, like that's the show that people recognize. Even if you're not a hardcore Star Trek fan, they recognize the most people from that series, right? All those characters they remember. So this is going to be, it almost feels like a fan service. It feels like the last Spider-Man, Far From Home.
I'd be okay with that. But having said that, all of these pieces actually fit a puzzle. And to see Beverly Crusher in the deal again is important to me. And I think it's a good possibility we could see Wesley Crusher. I think that's a good possibility. However, Moriarty, that piece in the original TNG piece, to me, because it was so much his character that they did with his character in the series, that held so much, I don't want to say power, but no power at all, but held power. Yeah. It was incredible. It was incredible to watch what was going on and how they said, we'll put him here and he'll be there for a very long time. So it's just an amazing thing when you see these characters come back. I think
because you're gonna have to go see that. By the way, Game God, you're gonna have to go look for those particular 2 episodes.
Yeah,
I absolutely. And so I'm gonna do the over under 3 episodes. Over and under. That's when it starts to go bad. 3 episodes before or 3 episodes bad.
Hold on. Now you're gonna say it starts to go bad.
Yes,
that's a loaded question because I think
it happens every season. Every season it happens.
You could pick apart any season of any show. You just did it with Andor.
Listen,
you just said you just did it with Andor.
Strange New Worlds wasn't that way. We enjoyed Strange New World from beginning to end. All right, so you can't say that. This is Star Trek.
You just said it about Andor. My point being is that you're going to pick apart a show and go, see, look, I knew it was going to happen.
What I'm
the
saying
whole
is
season's going to be good.
Based on, so you're saying the whole season? You're saying it's gonna?
There's going to be some down moments. No, there'll be some down moments.
Listen. Moose is smiling in the background there. Moose, 3 episodes in, are we going to start to see the downfall? It's going to ride to the end, or it's going to be right before? It's never going to take off.
Look, if it's any consequence, Magic Mike, what he's saying is does have some validity. Is the fact that statistically, historically speaking, from Picard, 3 episodes and are like, oh man, they let us down. So I'm going to go with a 3. I'll keep to the 3, but I don't think we're going to see Moriarty till like 5. So
I guess I don't know how many episodes are going to be, but my point being is that with all the characters that are going to be in it, you may have some down moments, but that's Star Trek. You could go back and watch TNG. There's some you're like, that wasn't a great point. However, you're going to enjoy the whole season.
Dave may be onto something there.
That's my point. We're gonna have one episode. You're gonna say it was good up until the fifth minute and the 36nd second, and then they lost me. They started doing too much story.
This guy's he's like Michael Bay. That's what he needs.
As long as it's not episode 3, we're good.
All right. Well, I want to move on quickly to just a couple of these other trailers. Our time is growing short on Discovery season 5. There was nothing there that impressed me in the trailer. It was just kind of a sneak peek, but there was nothing there that impressed me. So
I thought I watched the trailer for season 3.
Yeah, it looked like it was the same old trailers.
I don't think it was that good.
Yeah. Wheel of Time is one of the ones we were following for a long time. They're actually going to be coming out with season 2. I don't think they're showing us anything that we didn't know, but it's one of those where I go, I'm going to have to see if the trailer doesn't do anything for me there either.
I'm right there with you, Moose. I didn't get a whole lot from it. And here's what's even worse. There's no release date for season 2, but they've already approved season 3. So not knowing when the release date is going to be for season 2, you're like, okay, so we're getting this. Is this just to get people to want to watch it again? Because I didn't get a whole lot.
By the way, I think they're taking too long on this.
Absolutely.
And fun fact here, at the end of season 1, remember we felt like something felt weird the way season 1 ended?
There did something took place where we found out later why it felt weird.
Yes.
One of the actors decided that, I'm out.
Yep.
Deuces.
Yeah. So that felt weird. So they had to, I don't know, rewrite.
They cut some episodes out or some scenes and reshot the scenes. So it felt like, wait, how do we go from here to here?
Yeah.
So but I think they didn't show much season 2 trailer. But I think that I have a feeling that they're gonna come with a little bit more to it. So I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed season 1.
Yeah. I did too. I just don't know what to expect. Teen Wolf was announced. Teen Wolf, new movie.
Next.
Yeah, I think that's probably done with. Maybe I'm wrong.
Why would you try to remake Michael J. Fox? Come on.
Well, they did with Teen Wolf 2 with what's his name? That
they did. Yeah. Nope.
Jason.
They didn't learn. They didn't learn.
Wasn't that Jason
Bateman?
Yes, it was Jason Bateman. Yep.
Great actor. Didn't work. All right, next. The last one that I have is Super Mario trailer. If you haven't seen this one looks. Oh man, I just want you to compare it to the original Super Mario. You will fall in love with this trailer. You'll go, this is the best thing.
Yes.
If you are a fan of Super Mario at any sort, this trailer looks pretty cool. It actually looks like a pretty good movie.
I enjoyed every minute of it. I know that Mario's voice is getting demolished in social media because it's Chris Pratt. And you know I guess they were expecting to hear an Italian or whatnot. I don't know.
I think it's a bad move to use Pratt, but I think he does a fine job with his voice acting. He hasn't let me down in some of the other stuff. Like I think he was in the Lego stuff. He did a lot of the Lego stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But Jack Black as Bowser, I think he's gonna knock it out the park.
Perfect.
Yes.
And I gotta tell you, this looks really good. Yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud when I saw the penguins throwing the snowballs.
Yes.
Like, you want more? I thought that was hilarious. So I'm really looking forward. And I don't go to the theaters to watch animation. I might watch this in the theaters when it comes out.
I think I'm with you, Game God, because I don't go to it for the theaters for animation either. But Moose, you kind of did a little disservice to say if you compare it to the first one, because either way, I think this was a really great trailer.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. So it's 100 times better than the first one.
I just think it's funny because the first one's so bad.
Yes.
It's so horrible that
is the epitome of just living off of a license.
Yeah. And by the way, if you guys don't remember Super Mario had a Saturday morning show.
Yes.
That was
I like that.
Bad. No,
I like that one. I like that
wait a minute.
one.
Not necessarily the cartoon piece of the show, but the live action version of the show.
Yes, the live
action.
Oh
my gosh.
Watch that.
Was it Lou
Albano, I think, for
Oh, wow.
His rubber band.
That was horrible.
Yes.
That was horrible. Thanks for bringing that. I had forgotten about that. Thanks for bringing that back.
The cartoon was great. The cartoon was great.
The cartoon was fine.
Captain N, the game master.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, there's so much to talk about in the future. We've got some changes coming for 2023, yeah, that's right, 2023, right? Changes coming for the podcast, and it's never a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's a great thing. Except we just have to worry about what we're doing next week. That's all we have to worry about and talk about. We got House of the Dragon coming up, Rings of Power, all again next week. Thanks for joining us. Come back and see us. We'll do it all again.
I was just leaving.
Nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert, nerd alert.
You've been listening to Podcast for Sci-Fi with Moose, Game God, and Magic Mike. Nerds have more fun. If it's anything sci-fi, we're talking about it. We had fun, and we hope you did too. We have to split, but we'll be back soon. In the meantime, hit us up at podcast4sci-fi.com. This is Podcast for Sci-Fi, where all things sci-fi come to life. Come to life.